Gentlemen, look down. If your belt buckle is sitting under your belly, clinging to your hips for dear life, you are committing a crime against geometry. You are guilty of the low-rise tragedy. For years, we were told low-waisted trousers were cool. But for a man over 50, gravity is real. When you wear your waistband below your gut, you create a shelf. You cut your body in half, shortening your legs and highlighting the very area you want to hide. It creates the dreaded muffin top. It is time to rediscover the waist. The high-rise trouser is not about pulling pants to your armpits like a caricature. It is about placing the waist at your natural center. This architectural shift creates a clean line, elongates the legs, and encases the midsection with dignity. Stop fighting your body. Start framing it. Welcome to the high-rise. Chapter 1. The Optical Illusion. Let us speak of architecture before we speak of clothing. Leonardo da Vinci gave us the Vitruvian Man, the study of perfect human proportions. But for the last 30 years, fast fashion has conspired to destroy this perfection, specifically for the mature man. Here is the cold, hard mathematics of style. The human eye judges the length of your legs based on one single data point, where your trousers begin. The brain assumes that your legs start at your waistband. Now, consider the modern tragedy of the low-rise trouser. By placing the waistband 3 inches below your navel, resting heavily on your hip bones, you are voluntarily amputating 3 inches from your legs. You are visually elongating your torso. For a man over 50, who likely carries the prosperity of his age in the midsection, this creates a disastrous silhouette. You become all torso and no leg. You begin to resemble a dachshund. Long body, short limbs. It makes you look shorter, dumpier, and significantly heavier than you actually are. Enter the high-rise. This is not a fashion trend. It is a correctional facility for bad geometry. By raising the waistband to your natural waist, the narrowest point of your torso, typically right at or just below the navel, you reclaim those lost inches. This is the optical illusion. Suddenly the eye travels up. It follows the sharp vertical crease of the trouser all the way to the center of the body. In an instant, your legs look longer. Your torso looks compact and proportionate. Furthermore, consider the mechanics of the belly. A low-rise waistband cuts under the stomach, pushing the soft tissue upwards and outwards, creating the dreaded spillover. A high-rise trouser does the opposite. It glides over the stomach. It acts as a soft corset, encasing the midsection within a straight, unbroken line of fabric. The muffin top disappears, not because you lost weight, but because you stopped squeezing it. Think of the icons of the silver screen. Cary Grant, Gary Cooper, Fred Astaire. Did they have perfect bodies? No. But they understood the golden ratio. They wore their trousers high. When they walked, their legs seemed to go on forever. They moved with a fluidity and grace that is physically impossible when your pants are hanging off your hips, fighting gravity with every step. This is the only way to gain 3 inches of height without wearing platform shoes. It is the only way to lose 10 pounds of visual weight without stepping into a gym. When you wear high-rise trousers, you are not just dressing. You are re-engineering your silhouette. You are telling the observer, look at the vertical line, not the horizontal bulk. So the next time you try on trousers, Do not let them settle on your hips. Pull them up. If it feels strange, good. That is the feeling of posture returning. That is the feeling of elegance restoring order to chaos. Chapter 2. Death to the belt. If the high-rise trouser is the canvas, the belt is a knife that slashes it in half. For generations, we have been conditioned to believe that a loop requires a strap. We treat the belt as a necessity, a default setting for getting dressed. But for the man over 50 who is reclaiming his silhouette, the belt is not an accessory. It is an adversary. Consider the visual impact. You have just achieved the optical illusion of Chapter 1. You have created a long, unbroken vertical line from your shoes to your navel. Now you wrap a thick strip of leather horizontally across your midsection. You cap it off with a shiny, protruding slab of brass or steel. What have you done? You have created a visual interruption. You have drawn a bright, shiny line exactly where you want people to look the least. Your stomach. The belt buckle acts as a lighthouse, flashing a signal that says, "Look here, look at my waistline." Furthermore, the added bulk of the leather and the buckle creates an artificial protrusion under your jacket or sweater, adding unnecessary thickness to your profile. In the world of high-end tailoring, a belt is often viewed as a crutch. It implies that your trousers do not fit. It implies that without this leather tourniquet, your clothes would fall off. This is utilitarian, not elegant. The solution is the side adjuster, or side tab. Walk into a bespoke tailor on Savile Row, and you will rarely see belt loops on a house-cut suit. Instead, you will find discrete metal buckles or button tabs positioned on the hips. This is the pinnacle of waist engineering. The side adjuster allows for a clean waistband. Without belt loops, the fabric continues uninterrupted. It is sleek, minimalist, and incredibly slimming. It removes the visual clutter, but its true power lies in its mechanics. The human body is not static. We fluctuate. We bloat after a heavy lunch. We shrink in the morning. A belt is rigid. It has fixed holes. You are either in hole number 3, too loose, or hole number 4, too tight. The side adjuster is fluid. It allows you to tighten or loosen your trousers by mere millimeters with a simple tug, all without the indignity of unbuckling your belt at the dinner table. It breathes with you. It accommodates the reality of a mature body while maintaining the facade of perfect tailoring. There is a place for belts, on denim, on chinos, on rugged workwear. But when it comes to the high-rise trouser, the belt must die. Do not break the line. Do not highlight the gut. Let the trousers stand on their own, held up by engineering, not by a leather strap. This is the difference between wearing clothes and having them fit. Chapter 3. The Return of Pleats. The word pleat triggers a specific PTSD in men over 50. You remember the 1990s. You remember the billowing dockers, the oversized khakis that ballooned around the hips, making you look like you were wearing a parachute. You vowed never to return. You embraced the flat front revolution of the 2000s as a liberation. But gentlemen, We threw the baby out with the bathwater. The flat front trouser is a young man's game. It relies on a hip-to-waist ratio that few men maintain past the age of 40. Here is the physics of the flat front. It is a 2D plane trying to cover a 3D object. When a man with life experience, read a belly, sits down in flat front trousers, the fabric screams. It pulls tight across the lap. It creates those ugly horizontal tension lines. We call them whiskers, that point directly at your crotch. The pockets flare open like elephant ears. It is uncomfortable, and frankly, it looks like the buttons are holding on for dear life. It is time to forgive the pleat. We are not talking about the triple-pleated monstrosities of the past. We are talking about the single, subtle, architectural pleat. Think of a pleat not as excess fabric, but as an expansion joint. It is engineering. When you stand, the pleat stays closed, maintaining a clean, sharp, vertical line that slims the leg. But when you sit, or when you put your hands in your pockets, the pleat opens. It gives your hips and thighs room to breathe. It accommodates the expansion of your body without distorting the silhouette. Visually, the pleat performs a miracle for the high-rise trouser. It creates a vertical interruption. If you have a wide waist, a flat front makes it look like a wide, blank billboard. A pleat breaks that space up. It creates a shadow line. It introduces verticality. Most importantly, the pleat anchors the crease. On a flat front pant, the crease often fades away at the thigh. On a pleated trouser, the crease runs like a steel wire all the way up to the waistband. This creates the drape, the holy grail of tailoring where the fabric falls in a straight, unbroken line from waist to shoe, completely masking the shape of the leg and the belly underneath. Start with a single reverse pleat, where the fold opens towards the pocket. It is discreet, modern, and incredibly slimming. It is the difference between trousers that restrict you and trousers that respect you. The flat front fights your anatomy. The pleat accommodates it. Stop squeezing into the trends of your 30s. Let the trousers breathe. Chapter 4. Casual Execution. Now we face the elephant in the room. You are worried. You look in the mirror, pull the waistband up to your navel, and a voice in your head whispers, "I look like my grandfather." It is a valid fear. If you wear high-rise trousers with a stiff, starched white dress shirt and a silk tie, you will indeed look like a 1940s accountant or an extra in a period drama. You risk looking like you are wearing a costume. To bring the high-rise into 2026, we must master the art of deformalization. The secret lies in the pairing. Because the trousers are structured and dressy, the top half must be soft, textured, and relaxed. This is the high-low friction that creates style. First, invest in the long-sleeve knitted polo. Not the shiny synthetic golf polos with logos on the chest. We are talking about merino wool or Sea Island cotton with a soft, unlined collar. When you tuck a knitted polo into high-rise trousers, the matte texture of the wool softens the severity of the waistline. It looks comfortable, luxurious, and completely modern. Second, the roll neck, or turtleneck. This is the architect's uniform. A thin, black or charcoal cashmere roll neck, tucked into gray flannel high-rise trousers, creates a seamless column of color. It elongates the body even further. It removes the need for a collar or tie, stripping away the old man connotations and replacing them with intellectual minimalism. Third, the denim or chambray shirt. This is your weekend weapon. The rugged indigo texture of denim contrasts beautifully with the refined drape of wool trousers. Keep the top 2 buttons open, roll the sleeves up. It signals that you are off duty, but you have not surrendered your standards. Finally, we must discuss the tuck. How you tuck your shirt defines the look. The amateur stuffs his shirt into his pants and pulls it tight, creating a flat, tension-filled surface that highlights the curve of the belly. Do not do this. You want the blouse effect. Here is the technique. Tuck your shirt in fully. Zip the fly. Fasten the side adjusters. Now, raise both arms straight up in the air, as if you are reaching for the ceiling. Lower your arms. The shirt will naturally pull out of the waistband by about an inch. Do not pull it back down. Let it settle. This creates a soft, consistent fold of fabric, a blouse, that hangs slightly over the waistband. This is strategic. This soft overhang completely masks the transition point between your belly and your trousers. It hides the love handles. It adds a layer of nonchalance, of sprezzatura. It says, I am wearing these clothes. They are not wearing me. Gentlemen, the high-rise is not a trend. It is a return to sanity. It is the realization that style is not about hiding your body, but engineering it. When you wear trousers that sit at your true waist, you stop adjusting. You stop pulling your shirt down to cover the gap. You stop holding your breath. You stand taller because the architecture supports you. You are no longer fighting gravity. You are commanding it. So, tomorrow morning, ignore the jeans that cut you in half. Step into the high-rise. Fasten the side adjusters. Look in the mirror and watch your legs grow 3 inches. This is not just a change of trousers. It is a change of stature. Welcome back to the Golden Age.